Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frank Labanca, the Director of the Center for 21st Century Skills and Education Connection, a nationally recognized visionary leader for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education, blended learning, and 21st century skill development. I am joined here by my talented center staff, Jane Don, Managing Director, Debbie Giasin, Fiscal Support Specialist, Carrie McFarland, Science Education Specialist, Sarah Schaus, Program Manager, Emily Wasley, Digital Learning Specialist, and Matthew Werwood, Digital Media Program Specialist. Jennifer Silverman, Math Education Specialist, is away on special assignment today. Our signature event, the Student Innovation Exposition, will be held at the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut on May 4th, 2013. We expect to showcase the incredible, innovative work of over 2,000 Connecticut students. Our distinguished panel of judges representing Connecticut's business and industry community, as well as Connecticut's community colleges and four-year university network, will be on hand to evaluate this authentic work. Awards will be given for first, second, and third place overall in each program category. In addition, those students participating in the 9th grade academy and 10th grade academy categories can win special awards in science, in math, and in technology. Each class will be provided with a challenge based on this year's theme, responsible design. While we encourage students and teachers to explore the concept of responsible design to determine their own meaningful working definition, we would like to generally say that responsible design may be design that encompasses ethics, honesty, appeals to a target audience, and/or displays environmental responsibility. The creative nature of a term like responsible design requires your team to make its meaning. We can easily tell you what we think it means, but we feel that it is detrimental to the creative process. We are intentionally vague to allow your teams the most flexibility. We challenge you to determine what it is, and they take a critical stance, defend it, and support it. For our flagship program, the Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences, now in 12 schools, we present the following challenge statement. Addressing the theme of responsible design, create and implement a new, innovative campaign, product, or technology. We have designed a flowchart to help guide the process for you. Although the flowchart is designed for multidisciplinary academy programs, we encourage all programs to use the specific track that might be of value. Specifically, for math, we have identified the process of data collection, data analysis, and adaptation of model. Each indicator is elaborated with additional details on the flowchart. For science, we have identified the 8 practices of science and engineering, literature review, experiment-based research, and application-based projects. And finally, for technology, production and 8 practices of digital media production. The flowchart can be found on the Skills 21 website and will be embedded into all Moodle courses. You will note the term interactive design document as one of the products associated with the project. A design document is intended for documentation of the project but can take on many unique formats. Perhaps it is a WordPress page with embedded videos, external links, and a place for comments. It might be an iBook. It might be a mobile app. There is freedom and flexibility to create a document that is original to your team. We, of course, are most interested to see what we have not thought of. Push the envelope and use technology in innovative and creative ways. In addition, each element has a rubric for evaluation purposes. On the Skills 21 webpage, you can download each individual rubric. On the rubrics, you will observe that each element's indicator has an evidence location on the far right. We are requesting that presenting teams indicate how they will demonstrate their achievement. For example, in the Common Academy Elements rubric under Communication Design Document, students might put a web link address along with a descriptive sentence in the evidence box so that the review panel of judges will be able to easily verify the product. We are asking students to respond to this request with a project proposal. The proposal should consist of a one-page prospectus and a 60-second video. Center for 21st Century Skill Program Managers will help facilitate proposals. Proposals are due to the center on Thursday, January 31st, 2013. We are also requesting a web presence be established in February. This web presence should be hosted on the Center for 21st Century Skills servers. Individual programs have rolling due dates. Academy of Digital Arts and Sciences deadline is February 8th, 2013. We'll now take questions from the audience.
The proposal, so the proposal that's due in January is the final project proposal.
Yes, so it should outline, so the question was the proposal due on January 31st is the final project proposal. It should outline the concept that the students are looking to generate. It should describe what is going on within the project and perhaps enhance some of the evidence associated with that. And our program managers might want to add to that at all? Carrie? Okay. And the program managers will be happy to come to your school, work with you, and help you develop that prospectus with your students.
Could you clarify what's due on February 8th?
So we are looking for a web presence. The question is, what is due on February 8th? We are looking for the establishment of a web presence. So that can be as simple as a splash page saying, coming soon, and maybe a title or a product. It might be more elaborate than that. And there is some flexibility in terms of the platform you would like to use. And I will refer you to Emily Wasley for assistance with that. Emily, do you want to add anything to that?
We have a requirement that the websites have to be on our server. There's a variety of reasons for that, and I can answer that question for you at another time. But I'll be providing FTP space on our servers, and you can use WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, pretty much any content management system that you want to use. We officially support WordPress, so you're kind of on your own if you want to use a different web design program for that. But as soon as your group is ready to start building their website, they can call me tomorrow if you want the information, and I'll send that out to you, and we'll support you. The main reason that we want it February 8th is so that the week before the expo, when your kids go to unveil their website, if they have problems or whatever, we just want to know that they can upload their content by February 8th.
Are these deadlines only for the members of the Academy?
The answer is no on that, although the February deadline will be individually identified because that's a rolling deadline, so the prospectus are due January 31st for all programs. And I'm sorry, the question was, is this a deadline for all programs? It is a deadline for all programs. The February 8th date is specific for Academy. Other programs that are not participating in Academy will get their dates separately, but they are all in February.
You said interactive design document.
Yes.
At our prior meeting, you said a news, feature or a cast or something like that. Is it still going to be the newscast, or now do we have an option?
So the question of it is about the interactive design document. You will see, per each program, there are specific requirements. So in the 9th grade, there is a news product associated with it. However, we want students to be able to document their progress, demonstrate their learning, and we want that to happen in an innovative way. So that's what we're looking for, the interactive design document. That becomes the report associated with the products that they are making. Kelly.
So you're saying that does not replace all of the other components that we had to create. This is in addition to that, not in place of.
The question is this in addition to, and I don't like the word in addition because I think it's the documentation process that would happen anyway. It's just an organized fashion to keep it. So the products are the same products that we had discussed, and this is the way the students are going to document their progress toward that product. And it can be done. Matthew wants to add to that.
Yeah, I would just add, I actually think this is a Kerry question, and to add on to what Frank was saying, is not, I don't like the word in addition either. This came out of the fact that in the science classes they have to produce a research paper, and they have to produce a white paper in RD2. So what we did was we created a new name, an interactive design document. to incorporate all of this. So it is something that's already been existed in the science classes previously to this. All right. Okay.
Anything?
No, for science, one of the key elements is that they're designing and conducting an experiment, and we obviously want a write-up and a documentation of that. So I'm going to request that that particular writing go into their design document. So basically, we're taking all of the written elements that were required in our individual programs, and they're going to be put together into one written document. But we would encourage the students to be very creative about how they present that. So if they want to include web links, videos, photos, that is something that we want to encourage them to include in the document.
The program that is ultimately responsible for delivering that interactive design document is science or skills?
Both. All of the above. Each program is going to have specific written elements that go into that document. Emily, do you want to talk about requirements for the RD2?
Right, so in RD2 in particular, they have to do a technical white paper. The state standards in general also have stepped up their requirements for writing skills. So this is just kind of a formalized version of that. So instead of having the students, since it is one project altogether, instead of having the students submit their literature review and their experiment and their white paper and their news story interviews and all that kind of citations and all that, we just want it packaged into one big document. So again, for RD2, for example, the white paper requirements remain exactly the same, but it's going to be partnered with the scientific literature review and the experiment so that you're not handing out all of these compartmentalized things at the expo. So they'll be working on the written work in their science class, they'll be working on the written work in their technology class, but they're all going to become part of one document.
I think I want to add one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
I think the other thing that we've gotten feedback from our judges is that sometimes it's hard to find everything that they need from your students, and our idea is to help that process of being able to package it in a way that the adults that are evaluating your students' work have an easy way to access that information.
Does this mean, could we include in that section then, like their lab notebook entries?
Sure.
So the question
all of
is,
that information would be there, and then when they decided to put it together, it's all right there, and now we're going to write the final white paper that organizes everything we've done.
if that's how you choose to do it, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. For science, for the experiment design and write-up, I posted in E3 and in bio a document that lays out the science elements. So it's sort of the minimum pieces that should be there in their experiment design documentation. But if you want to include additional pieces as part of that document, you're absolutely welcome to. Basically, we would like them to have an abstract, an introduction, materials and methods, kind of the basic pieces of your sort of experiment documentation. But additional things, absolutely, you can put in there.
I think that's when we say interactive design document, that adds a level of flexibility to what you're doing. Because it doesn't have to be, well, here's all my data, here's all my data, here's my ideas, here's my report, and it just keeps going and going and going. But maybe it becomes something that becomes dynamic, where data is here, and someone could click on a link potentially, and then it would showcase that additional information.
And they're also...
But here's the deal. Challenge your students to figure this out, because it's a way for them to figure out how they can showcase their work in a way to an audience that may not know all the details, but might want to find specific things at different times.
So photos, videos, to document the process of their experiment, how to replicate the experiment, right? That could be something that's included in this.
And also, just to keep on the interactive design document, a lot of this has also come out of the fact that we're moving into an era of tablet devices, where we're seeing more and more applications that are interactive by design. And so I think it's important that we start moving into a direction where it can be an interactive document. And so an application as simple as iAuthor does allow students to generate a 3D model that can be actually viewed at a 360-degree perspective from this design document on the tablet device. So it also accommodates this new technology that's starting to emerge.
Okay.
I thought I heard you mention that you're looking for all the efforts of the students to kind of collectively be presented in one place. And I'm sort of wondering if you can speak to how kids who are doing a science course and kids who are doing a technology course, are they meant to all contribute collectively to that one space, or should they sort of collectively contribute to two of those spaces? One for a film, one for a science exploration.
I think that's a really hard question to answer, because I think that's tracking a little too much on our end, and again, it's going to take away flexibility from students. So I think I would recommend, in terms of answering that question, that's the question you pose to your students.
Okay.
And you
sort of
guys,
organically
I don't want
discover
to make those decisions for you on that type of thing.
Okay.
This is one project, and it's this kind of, well, but I'm speaking from the technology point, and well, what am I responsible for? Well, and then Kerry may respond and say, well, I'm talking from the science perspective, what am I responsible for? And ultimately, it's this new concept, isn't it? It's one project, and it may manifest differently in the schools, and the students may choose for it to manifest differently as well.
So take a look at the rubrics and really meaningfully look with your students through the rubrics that apply to the specific programs that you're associated with, and I think that will help also frame your ideas a little bit. All right, this concludes this release. If you have additional questions, please feel free to contact individual program managers at the center. We are here to support you and bring our expertise to you. So call us. We'll be happy to make visits to your schools and work with you, and we look forward to the process of the wonderful work your students are going to produce. Thank you very much.